Alright everyone, back at it again. So this is a part 2 of the video. We are going to be changing out transmission, the actual transmission oil filter, as well as putting in more oil. So I've never done this before. I've never changed the transmission oil filter. I have put in, I know I'm moving the camera all around. I have put oil inside of a transmission before. So today what we got is we just went to Advanced Auto Parts and we just picked up a normal transmission oil filter, nothing fancy or special. I mean it's not racing applications. I know people might say you should have got this brand, you should have got that brand, whatever. That's what I got. So gonna go ahead and jack the car up and then get up underneath, and then step-by-step process of how to do this. So let's keep going. Okay, so right now we got the car, the back end jacked up. I know it's not a good situation, seeing that if you can see right here, if you can see, if it can focus, right here is, I'm gonna go ahead and drain the actual oil out of there that I can get out of there. I know it's at a terrible angle because that's where the, it's on a slant. You can see what I mean. So I'm going to drain whatever oil I can out of there. Then I'm going to start tackling all the bolts that I can get to, which are all of these. Now there's a row of bolts that are here in the back that can't be get normally. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to loosen the cross member, this back cross member right here. These bolts, I'm going to have to loosen them up so I can get a jack on the rear diff and jack up the rear diff to lift it up so I can get a wrench in there or a socket and a ratchet to undo the back ones, and the pan just pops right off. So let's go ahead and pop that off and start draining, then we'll start tackling the bolts. Okay, so we got all the bolts released except for the back ones, and I should have thought about it, but once the seal was broken, it like all just busted loose like right when I came out from underneath it. So I barely got any on me, but it's all over the floor. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack up the rear diff and get that. Well, first I need to loosen the bolts up. Loosen the bolts. Then I'm gonna jack up the rear diff and then get the last few bolts. So these are 2 bolts on this side, and there's 2 on the other side that I'm gonna loosen up, and that should give me enough room to jack up the diff and then loosen the bolts. So let's go and do this real quick. Okay, so I got them loosened up. I didn't want to take them all the way off unless I have to. Pretty much the same on each side. So the next thing is I'm gonna try to jack it up and see if I get enough room. Okay, so what I did now is I took the nuts off completely because I just couldn't get it up high enough. So as long as I don't clear the entire frame, I can still slide in there easily. I'm gonna put a block on this because I'm out of room on height. So to get me a little bit higher, I'm very close to being able to reach the nuts. The bolts. So I'm gonna put a block on this, jack it up, and then try to get them again. Okay, so right there, these are the 2 bolts that I need to get to. I'm almost there. I haven't checked since I jacked it up, and I put it on wood. Sorry about the angles, but I think I can reach it now. So let me go and try to get to them real quick. So those are the 2. Okay, so got all the bolts undone. I think the last thing I did is really just break the seal of the gasket. I was trying my best to stay out of this blood here of the car, but I ended up getting in a little bit. So let's go and try to pop this pan off. Oh, there's still 1 bolt holding on. No wonder why it's still up there. But let me get this real quick and the pan's gonna come off. Okay, so we have the oil pan off. As you can see, these are the internal workings, or this is what the transmission looks like. The oil pan is over there on the ground. Apparently I didn't drain all the oil out. It is everywhere. But I'll deal with that problem of clean up and playing around the oil. Like I was saying, I'll play around in the oil until and clean it up later. But I know to take this off, it's really simple. You just do a little twist and a wiggle, and it's supposed to just come out. So I really should be doing this with 2 hands. Let's see. Yeah, let me try to get 2 hands on this and get it out. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, it was really just a little simple twist and wiggle and pull straight out. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and install the other filter. I'm gonna lube up the neck of it and just slide it in there. After that, I'm gonna wipe down the gasket area here and on the pan, but I'll show you what I'm gonna do with the pan when I get out of here, and then just put it all back together. Well, then I gotta pump oil in it. But so right now I'm gonna grab the other oil filter, slide it right in here, and then wipe down the surface area. Yeah, let's go do that. Okay, so for the oil pan, I went ahead and wiped all the surface all down with a clean rag, and I did the same thing on the inside, and I also wiped off the gasket. So the gaskets are reusable, and you're not supposed to put RTV or anything on. These are reusable gaskets. If they look fine, it looks fine to me, and I had no leaks whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the same gasket back on. I know I'm bouncing back and forth. I know that if you had a stock C6, actually I don't know what I'm saying. Basically what I'm saying is there's like a service bulletin on the magnet location, but I don't see anywhere I'm supposed to put it that's differently. Ooh, let me get this out of here. So I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. I haven't had any issues, and plus it's got like a little retainer around it to kind of keep it from sliding around. It's like a little post. So I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. I'm actually gonna take it out real quick and dust off all these particles, these black particles. And then I'm gonna put the gasket back on and reinstall in reverse. So let's go do that real quick. Okay, so doesn't that look a lot better? Wiped everything out, cleaned the magnet up, put it right back where it's supposed to belong. So the next thing is put the gasket on. I think it goes, I'll figure it out. Only got 1 hand here. Put the gasket back on and put the pan back on. So let's go do that. Okay, so we got the oil pan all on there, all the bolts, even the rear ones. You don't want to put them on too tight because they're like really easy threads and you don't want to strip threads. So just put on there nice and snug and let the gasket do the rest for you. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lower down the rear differential and let the studs come back through, tighten those up, and then I'm going to get to pumping 6 or 7 quarts of transmission fluid into the transmission. So let's go ahead and knock that out real quick. Okay, so the next step is to actually fill the transmission up. So what I'm looking at here is you can see that little black rubber stop. That's the fill plug for this Corvette. So it's plastic and it looks like I could just pull it out. I have done it before, so you just pull it out probably with a screwdriver, flathead, and then I'm gonna go hook up my little hose and show you how just pump it in there. So let me go and pull it out real quick and I'll show you my my little contraption or my little pump that I'm gonna hook up. Okay, so this is the fill plug. Pull it out with some pliers. I'm just gonna set this to the side and go ahead and get my hose together. So what I got here is I picked it up, I saw it on the video, and it's just gonna make my life a lot easier. Is this little sorry, is this little kit right here. So pretty self-explanatory. I'm gonna go and hook it up, get my Castro oil out, and just start pumping it in there. Okay, I got the pump all hooked up and just pumping away. I'm already halfway through, so I'm just gonna continue until I see it overflow. Okay, so I'm pretty much complete. it took about 7.5 quarts. I know it's only supposed to take like 6.2, but the reason why it took so much because I got the transmission cooler on there, and plus it wasn't completely fully topped off when I put fluid in there last time. But I'm pretty happy with the results. So the last thing I'm gonna do is let the car down. Of course, check for leaks while I got the car running, but I'm not gonna. I don't think there is gonna be any. Knock on wood. I will like to say that everything goes very smoothly when you have the right tools. And what I mean by the right tools is like I had this headlamp. It made things a lot easier. I brought lights. I brought the little pump as well. I can't imagine trying to pump all that oil in there with my little mini vac pump. You know, just going out there and, you know, buying everything that you know, also buying gloves. You know, as cold as it is outside, it's like 26 degrees last night. You know, there's little things just all add up and made things so much easier and smooth. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the car down, and then check for leaks and also clean up all this oil that's still on the ground underneath the car. If you haven't been to the channel before, please like, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.